quick correction, it's 135 and 160 millimeter for these. I got ahead of myself a little bit there. Yo guys, Tom here. Super exciting video today. I was hoping to kind of reveal this, do an unboxing and reveal what's inside here for my Traxxas UDR. But then I realized I have to put kind of the description and the title of the video so you guys know what I'm talking about already. But essentially what I have in this package right here, direct from China, are some functional bypass shocks for my UDR, for the rear of my UDR here. And this is super exciting to me. I'm a total suspension nerd. I've been tuning and working on my own suspension on my mountain bikes and dirt bikes like most of my life, always chasing that perfect setup, which by the way, doesn't exist. There really is no perfect setup for suspension, which is why this is really exciting, because if this functions like it's supposed to, you're going to have externally adjustable suspension. And it is going to be kind of a game changer for this, because you'll be able to really tune and fine tune your compression and your rebound independent from each other. And yeah, it should be, amazing. If this really works how I hope they're going to work, this is going to be super cool. And not only will this be great for the UDR, but for pretty much any vehicle right now. These are available in 135 and 165 millimeter lengths. So quick correction, it's 135 and 160 millimeter for these. Is what I have for the rear. 135 would actually fit the front. I'm just not positive if there's enough clearance around the sprung damper and the sway bar mount. So I think I'm going to try mounting these on both positions just to see if they'll work in the front. So definitely check back if you want to see a lot more videos on these shocks. I'm going to be doing a lot of testing and tuning and the install later, but I want to keep these videos kind of short. So this one's really just going to be the unboxing. But yeah, let's get into it. I do just want to say, so I'm going to link the brand of shock that this is and where I got these from down below, so you guys can check them out. And yeah, let's just have it. But it's from a company called LX Shocks, and I was amazed at how quickly I got these. I did pay extra for the FedEx shipping, but I ordered these last Wednesday evening, and it's now Monday, and these were delivered by FedEx this morning. So I'm doing this on my lunch break because I'm way too excited to wait to open these things up and check them out. So yeah, wow, look at this. It comes in a cool little wooden kind of display case here. This makes me even more excited, guys. This is ridiculous. I've never seen anything like this when you buy shocks. They're a little pricey. I paid, it was about 160 bucks shipped. But a big part of that was the upcharge for FedEx. The options were either a ferry, which is literally like the slow boat from China, or FedEx. And it said, less than a week for FedEx. I didn't really believe that at first, but now I do believe it. These showed up really quick. You have a couple different color options with these. These, I just went with the black and silver. I do have some blue anodized parts on here, but that was before I changed over to the black body. So I kind of want to get away from doing all the blue stuff. Black is always a safer bet in case you ever want to change stuff up. So before I crack this open, I'm going to bring the camera in a little closer so you guys see what I can see here. Okay, here we go. Moment of truth. Let's check this out. I've never been so excited to open any RC product in my entire life. These are going to be really badass. Just check this out. So cool. Oh my God, guys. This is ridiculous. Holy crap. Wow, I didn't know they needed some assembly, but this makes it seem even cooler. Holy crap, this has some serious weight to it. Unbelievable, check this out. And yeah, guys, these are functional. Little spring setup in here. So this uses like an internal type floating piston. I'm going to go over, so if you guys like talking about suspension and geeking out over suspension, I'm going to have a ton of video on these explaining exactly how bypass shocks work. And like I said, also the install and the tuning on these. But this feels, I mean, just the weight of this, I'll get a weight on this in a second, but this feels like a legit, like well-made, heavy-duty part. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this weighs about 80 or 90 grams itself. But check this out. This is ridiculous. All these little bypass tubes here are going to have adjusters in them so that you can fine tune the amount of oil that flows in the circuit on either side of the piston. And that's how these are tuned. So that's the main body. These are the little anodized. Wow, the machining. This is really nicely made. Oh my God, I'm super, super impressed with these already. Here's the shaft here. Let me just pry this out. Nice machining here. I'll get a measurement on this too. Doesn't really appear to be any thicker than the standard secondary damper shaft on the UDR, but that's fine. Being that it's a secondary damper, I mean, I've never heard of anyone bending a shock shaft on a UDR, so I don't think they really need to be any thicker. Here's your little kind of grub screws. These are the adjusters. So all these little anodized nuts here will thread into, for example, the blue is compression, the red is rebound. That's pretty standard on all suspension types, mountain bikes, dirt bikes, everything else. But yeah, these will thread into the bypass tube, and then the grub screw goes in there. So this is a lock nut for the grub screw. Grub screw basically pushes on a spring and a bearing, which is like a ball check style valve. And that's what's going to allow, so more pressure on the spring will allow, will block more oil flow and will give you like a tighter compression, a more resistant compression. And if you loosen up on that, loosen up on the spring tension, it's going to allow more oil to flow from one side of the piston to the other, which will make your compression lighter. Same idea with rebound. If you turn it in, rotate clockwise, tighten it up, it's going to block more of the flow on the rebound and slow that down. So holy crap, man, this is incredible. I've never thought anyone could produce something this nice on this scale. Nice little aluminum anodized rod end here for the bottom of the shock. These are the pistons. So it comes with, well, I'm gonna guess, so this flat disc here, I think from the little parts diagram I had seen the picture, this is kind of just a little cap that pushes against the spring for the floating internal piston. So, but this would actually be your shock piston itself, and it seems like it comes with, there's a whole bunch of different pistons in here. So we have one that has a single hole, one that has 2 holes, one that has 4 holes, and that seems to be about it. So this one I don't think is related to that at all. I think that's more like just for the main piggyback reservoir compression adjuster. But these would be your shock pistons, so you can fine tune. And this would be for your base, like your base tune of your shock, because these are flowing, you know, as a standard, in a standard RC shock, this is all you have, right? So you just have this piston moving up and down through the oil. So anytime you make a change to your oil, you're changing it for the compression and for the rebound. Now, regardless of you using heavier fluid, lighter fluid, or either upping the size or decreasing the size of the piston holes, you're doing it in both directions. So that's part of the problem when you go trying to make corrections on your suspension for, like, say you add a lot of weight to your truck and you want to slow the compression down. Well, the problem is you're also slowing the rebound down. And then what happens is the suspension can start to pack up because your wheel can't rebound fast enough. It can't reset enough. It can't reset fast enough to get in the proper extended position to absorb the next impact. So if every impact you're losing more and more travel, by the time you get 3, 4, 5 bumps in, your suspension is going to remain so compressed that it's no longer working. So you want that rebound to be fast enough to reset before the next bump. So that's what's really cool with this, is because you're going to be able to make changes on the fly. You could be out testing and tuning out on the trail or wherever you're running your truck, the track, and you can make these minor adjustments and then do a couple more laps, make a few adjustments, do a couple more laps, as opposed to going and having to change your fluid and bleed the air back out, or change the piston and then change the fluid and bleed the air back out. So really, time-consuming process to tune using the valve. So, but like I said, this would be your base valve setting. So depending, if you have a very light truck and you want to flow a lot of oil, you would use the one with multiple pistons. If you have a very heavy truck and you're looking to slow everything down, you might start out with the 2 or the single hole piston and then tune from there. So this is going to give you a base range of whether you want it soft or stiff. And then within that range, you can fine tune with all these other adjusters on here. So super cool that they include multiple pistons there. And yeah, so we got some O-rings here. Now, one thing I thought, or these are actually like little plastic spacers, I'm sure that go into the valving. We got some O-rings here, which are probably the seals, some little nylock nuts here, some more larger O-rings, a whole bunch of grub screws. So this is not for a beginner, like assembly wise, and then also tuning wise. You're really going to need to know what you're doing, but what I'm going to do is try to get a good bass tune for you guys. And wow, look at these are the tiniest O-rings I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, that's insane. I can't believe they got this stuff down to this scale. Oh my God. No, these are not the tiniest O-rings I've ever seen in my life. These are the tiniest O-rings I've ever seen in my life. Holy crap. That's insane. Watch there be like another. This is like some kind of clown car. There's all kinds of stuff coming out of this little pocket in here. These are tiny little Ziploc bags too. Yeah, I don't even know. It's some type of little, like, almost looks like a little thumb wheel on like a lighter. I'm not sure what that is. It's some type of little adjuster maybe. It seems like it may be an adjuster for the end of the grub screw. Tiny little springs and bearings. So these are your like ball check valves. Like I explained earlier, these are going to go into the bypass tubes, and that ball will actually block the port in this tube, and the spring puts pressure on it. And that's what allows the oil to flow through there. And we got some more O-rings, some more spacers. So yeah, this is going to be a serious like multi-part video. So definitely check back in. You want to see the assembly on these, and I got to figure out a good bass tune. I'm not sure what this is going to detail here. So at least it does have a very good kind of exploded view, and it does have kind of a step-by-step instruction. All of these bags are numbered, by the way, so that's really good. So it tells you put all number 16, number 15 nuts, 17, 18, 17. So it's pretty good. I'm going to see how well this works actually going through the assembly process, but this is helpful. It definitely doesn't seem to include anything in terms of what fluid weight to use. So I think to keep it simple, what I might do is start with the standard fluid that's recommended for the UDR, which I need to double check, but I believe the front I'm not messing with right now, but the rear I believe is 60 weight on the rear for the secondary damper. So I'm going to stick with that to begin with, because I think that's something like if you have a UDR already, you're probably going to have that fluid lying around, and it would be nice just to start with something you're not going to always have to try to remember. You're just going to say, oh yeah, it uses the standard fluid, and go from there. So that would be ideal. I was also curious to know if some of these seals and O-rings and stuff would be like common Traxxas size parts, which would be cool if you could just use easily get like rebuild parts for these. But judging by how well everything is put together here, I'm sure these guys would have zero issue selling like a rebuild kit for these if and when it ever needs it. Say any of the seals wear out and they start to leak a little bit, I'm sure, judging by the quality and the amount of time and effort they went into making all of this, that they'd have no problem selling that separately. So anyway, guys, so sorry, but I'm having some issues with storage space making these longer videos. So I'm going to split this one in two. So check back for part number 2 pretty much immediately after this one.